access to good science, but also some creative people, like I've seen architects and other planners do some pretty creative scenario analysis for marine spatial planning. Yes. Okay. Ken, you want me to?
I talked last year. I bought Litton House. So your analysis of countries that have completed, countries that are in the process of one of the things we always struggle with is for the ones that have completed, what are your top 10 outcomes from those completed places, both ecological and in terms of things like easier permitting? So could you say something about outcomes for the implemented plan?
Yeah. Well, I mean, desired outcomes are different than actual outcomes. Well, see, the problem is that most of these plans, again, a number of people have made the point about it's going to take a long time to get these things actually implemented so that we can see results. And that's why it's important to sort of have some performance measures like, have we improved the permitting process? Have we done these things that are sort of process-oriented or input-oriented, which anybody who's in the performance measurement business is going to say, well, that's not telling the right story. We want outputs and outcomes. But the outcomes are rarely there, in terms of water quality improvements, conflict avoidance. Certainly, there have been examples of conflict avoidance, and in fact, that's what started marine spatial planning in many places. In the Netherlands, the government, two separate ministries in the government, permitted a wind farm at the entrance to Rotterdam Harbor without consulting the Port of Rotterdam. And Rotterdam said, what? How can you do that? We're going to expand the port in that direction. And the federal prime minister said, I don't want this to happen ever again. They had to go buy back the permit from the energy company at great penalty. And they basically had to start over and do something that is more like a marine spatial plan. So those kinds of conflict avoidances, either before planning started or even after planning, I think you can find lots of those kinds of examples. In Germany, in the Netherlands, in any place where they have a lot of infrastructure investments. We can't get one wind farm built in the United States. I think Germany now has something like 1,500 turbines offshore. And England's going to have more than that in another couple of years. So those kinds of conflicts, I think, are clear, they're measurable, and have been avoided in many places. But ecological benefits, environmental benefits, I'm not so sure.
Thank you again. Here over to the next session. Andy.
So all the panelists on the final session can come up. Sandra, Ashali, Porfirio, Michael, Yvonne, and Al. Thank you, everyone, for sticking out today. It's a long day, but it's been, for me, fascinating, really great gathering. And I think between Wendy's last keynote, which introduced some MSP ideas, and these two great presentations from Barry and Bud describing the MSP in more detail, now we're going to try to get some on-the-ground experience and from all regions of the world, from Africa, from Asia, Latin America, and the North American continent. So we have representatives covering those areas. We have Sandra Whitehouse from the Ocean Conservancy. We have Hashali Hamukaya, who's Executive Secretary of the Benguela Current Commission. We don't have Yihang Jiang. Yihang is the recent program director of the GF UNDP Yellow Sea LME program. I think due to a visa or some other problem, I don't know, Yihang could not make it, so I'm going to sit in on his behalf as much as I can today and tomorrow at AAAS as well. In similar fashion, Dr. Antonio Diaz de Leon from the Mexican government also had extreme demands at his time and was not able to make it, but we're very fortunate to have with us Mr. Porfirio Alvarez. He is the project manager of the GF Unido Gulf of Mexico, LME